Tower of God Book 5 Arc 9 Hide and Seek. Chapter 40-50 2F Hide and Seek. Quant orders Kun to open his bag, which he doesn't, giving the explanation that the badge used in the test is made of a special material that cannot be compressed. Kun then tells Quant that Anik, Team A's IT, has jumped off the bridge to the lower exit, though secretly she is actually on top of one of Kun's light cubes floating out of sight. This is a trap to try to get Quant to jump off the bridge by himself. Quant notices that Kun is only using one of his two light cubes and suspects that Anik is riding atop Kun's other one, a suspicion which is surprisingly accurate. Quant then explains that lighthouses are made of suspendium and that they must be kept within a light bearer's range of Shinsa control in order to be used. Thus, if Quant drags Kun down with him, his floating light cube should fall with them, thereby letting Quant catch Anik. Quant jumps off the bridge while grasping onto Kun. As they fall, though, Kun pushes Quant away and holds onto Manbarandena, which had secretly been hanging onto his other light cube via a pulley made of high-grade suspendium. Consequently, only Quant falls, leaving Kun up near the bridge with Anik. Anik, safe on the bridge, runs for the exit. The members of Team B are anxious about Team A tricking Quant, knowing that if Team A succeeds they'll all have a much lower chance of passing the test. The second floor administrators are also watching and are all impressed with Kun's abilities. The only one of them who thinks that the test isn't quite over yet is Yu Han-sung. Meanwhile, Quant is furious about being tricked. Just then, Lore appears and offers to send Quant back up to the bridge using a wave of Shinsu. Later, Anik approaches the other side of the bridge, the exit of the test area. However, someone is waiting for her. Quant. He quickly rushes past Anik, tapping her badge, which ends the test in a defeat for Team A. Back in the waiting room, the members of Team A are all very upset at being defeated. However, they don't know about Lore helping Quant and thus assume that the ranker merely has monstrous speed. Kun blames the whole affair on his plan, though the other regulars comfort him, telling him that his plan was actually very good. Ominously, Kun smiles to himself, with the thought, "I built the ladder for you. Climb up, bomb." Team B starts preparing for the test. The examiners give out points for Team A's efforts. Only Luro has a hard time with this, because he was able to see Quant being helped up by Kun and Lore, a fact that all other examiners except Yu Han-sung seem to be unaware of. Yu Han-sung's explanation is that Kun has really been helping his friends, rather than his team, the whole time. He then goes on to philosophize for a bit before admiring Kun, relishing the thought of crushing him, possibly because of his own ego and pride, and awarding him perfect team points. All within a short while. Yuga eats some donuts while Team B's turn is about to start. The other examiners feel that Team B is significantly weaker than Team A, with the exception of Anrasi. Hax reveals that the top two ranking wave controllers were both in Team A, indicating that the second-ranked wave controller was either Rosiel or Warayan, with Lore almost certainly the top-ranked regular among them. Yuga counters by stating his belief that Bomb is actually the most talented regular, though he is more like a lottery ticket than someone naturally strong. Finally, the test for Team B starts. The test begins for Team B. After running for a bit they take a break, Deslion sucks up to Anrasi, and there is a flashback to just before their test started, when they were deciding on a plan. All of them were arguing until Anrasi took charge and made them go along with her plan that all the fishermen move together. Naturally, Deslion also praised this plan to no end. Back in the test, Mauchi and Parakel are still complaining about Andrasi's plan, thinking that their Spear-Bearer Revolution plan is better. Hatsu mocks them, stating that Andrasi's plan is much better. Ho and Serena are idling time away. Serena acts a bit silly, then suddenly asks Ho why he decided to climb the tower. She then gives her own backstory as a thief in the middle area of the tower. One day, her would-be victims had a rancor with them. That rancor killed many of her fellow thieves. While she prayed for her life, Hedon appeared and brought her into the tower. Since then, though, she has had doubts about her will to keep climbing. She doesn't want to hurt her new friends in the process. In the meantime, Hatsu gets into a small fight with Mao-Chi and Parakel, easily laying them out and taking their spears. Just then, he senses Quant and tells the two spear bearers to run and prepare to try the spear bearer revolution. Serena and Ho are informed of the situation, and Serena tries to rush off and help. However, Ho ominously disappears. Hatsu engages Quant in combat. He manages to stand his ground against the Rancor, though Quant is clearly superior. Elsewhere, Rossi and Bomb talk for a bit. Rossi tells Bomb that he reminds her of herself when she was younger, and then goes on to reveal her past as a member of a branch of one of the 10 great families. She had to win fights in order to get good food and was eventually able to eat all of the food available. When she asks Bomb to guess how she was able to do that, he good-naturedly responded, "Did you ask the girls to share the food with you?" Just then, they receive word that the Rancor, Quant, has been found. Upon hearing the news, Rossi creates a large red circle on the ground and declares that anyone who leaves the circle will be executed. She proceeds to deal a blow to Deslion. At this point, Bomb realizes Andrassi's true motive for keeping Team B's fishermen together. Rossi reveals that her plan was not to defeat Quant, but to eliminate the 2 other fishermen on her team so that she was guaranteed a pass along with 3 other fishermen. Deslion turns on Bomb. Believing he was in on the plan, he decides to take him out first and attacks him. Rossi intervenes and smacks the fisherman to the outside of the drawn circle. She tells Bomb that she is going to show him what is necessary if he is going to climb the tower, and that if he is ready to take this kind of measures to go after her, then he can leave the circle. Meanwhile, Hatsu continues to fight with Quant, but has trouble fighting the Rancor. He decides to end it now while Quant is still going easy on him, and allows Quant to catch him so that he can trap him in place. He then tells Parakel and Mao-Chi to throw their spears, but the 2 spear bearers have run off in an attempt to save themselves. Hatsu orders Parakel and Mao-Chi to throw their spears, but they have already run away. Quant finishes off Hatsu, saying he is somewhat disgusted at the number of traitors on the team. He then goes off to hunt the other regulars. Meanwhile, Parakel and Mao-Chi have come up with a plan to fool the rest of their team. Back at the fisherman's location, Hong Chunhua tells Deslion that he has a plan, but Lion does not play along, and instead tries to escape, only to be caught by Rossi. However, Bomb gets in her way and says that they should not fight among themselves. Rossi says he's too soft to climb the tower and that if he wants to protect Rachel, he will have to hurt others. Lion tries to take Bomb hostage, only to get hit again by Rossi. However, with the princess off guard, Hong manages to ignite his weapon. Back in her lighthouse, Rachel is trying to communicate with Levin and the other light bearer on her team, Full Black. They have been thrown into chaos by all of the betrayals. Suddenly, the whole structure feels the impact from Andrassi's battle. Rachel tells them to spread the lights and find out what is going on. Then, Ho turns up, saying that someone is targeting Bomb, and asks Rachel to come out. Ho manages to lure Rachel out of her lighthouse and tells her who the person targeting Bomb is. Him. He then pulls a knife out and presses it to Rachel's throat. Meanwhile, Bomb gets in the way of Hong Chunhua's blast to protect Rossi, and says that Rossi is right. He doesn't have what it takes to climb the tower, he will only fight to protect those precious to him, and believes the stars are not worth killing one's friends over. Rossi screams back at him that he will have to be ruthless to protect Rachel, and asks him why he chases her, though she does not want him, and wonders what he likes about her. Bomb replies simply that he can't stop his heart from following her and walks away. Deslion and Hong proclaim Rossi as dumped, and ask her if she'll run after Bomb. Rossi decides not to and stays to fight them instead. Meanwhile, Ho questions Rachel on how Bomb was able to master Shinsu so quickly when it took him years and asks her what God should take in return for that. Bomb finds a lighthouse, and one of the light bearers informs him of the situation, including how they had lost contact with Rachel. he is told that Rachel was in the safety zone and realizes that he cannot get there quickly. Ho says that he will kill Rachel on behalf of God, only to have a real God arrive, Quant. The events in Team B's hide-and-seek test have caused the viewing screens to disconnect, worrying the onlooking regulars. Kun, however, is asleep. Meanwhile, Quant has located Ho and Rachel, sensing the location of Rachel's lighthouse. While he accuses Ho of considering him a pushover, Ho wonders if and how Quant found out about his plans. Quant tells Ho that he has been caught and attacks him. However, Parakel and Mao Chi enter the scene and throw a spear at Quant, distracting him long enough for Ho to get into the safety zone. Parakel and Mao Chi have teamed up with Levin, and plan to use other regulars as bait to eliminate the Rancor. Parakel contacts Ho, and they agree on a plan. Ho threatens to kill Rachel if Quant goes to attack the spear-bearers. Quant is extremely pissed at this. In that moment, Bomb turns up and asks Ho why he has Rachel pinned down. Ho replies that unless he attacks Quant, Rachel's life will be in danger. He claims he knows Bomb's type, and believes that if he continues he will become a monster like the Rancor that killed his comrades. When Ho stabs Rachel, Bomb attacks Quant, but the Rancor immobilizes him with Shinsu. Quant tells him to imitate the flow, and to use it to save Rachel while he takes care of the spear-bearers. Quant does not actually believe Bomb can master this so quickly, as it took him over a decade to learn the technique. However, upon defeating Parakel and Mao Chi, Quant turns to see that Bomb has immobilized Ho and saved Rachel. Could he be a real monster? And Rossi is easily able to defeat Des Lion and Hong Chunhua, despite the latter having an ignition weapon. Hong tells An Rossi that she does not deserve Zahard's powers, and that she is a demon. And Rossi replies that that is what everyone says, then she smashes him and takes his weapon. Meanwhile, Bomb was able to save Rachel, only to have her tell him that he shouldn't be following her, before slipping into unconsciousness as a result of the wound Ho previously inflicted on her. Bomb asks him why he targeted Rachel, and Ho tells him it was to stop him from climbing the tower, though now that his plan has failed it's all over for him. Bomb is shocked, but Ho simply replies that they were never friends, because in the tower there are only competitors. He then reveals that everyone he knew was killed by a Rancor before he came to the inner tower and finishes by declaring that he hates Bomb. Afterwards, in spite of Bomb's futile attempt to stop him, he commits suicide. Quant looks on and reflects upon the irony of the whole situation, noting that Bomb is too strong, and baby sharks, no matter how small, cannot swim among minnows. Then An Rossi turns up, and he remembers that he hadn't yet taken care of the last regular, her. An Rossi reveals to Serena that she had betrayed the team and attacked the other fishermen. Serena gets angry and attacks An Rossi, who reminds her that if they don't deal with Quant soon, Rachel and Ho will die from their injuries. She then comments to Bomb that while she doesn't have a great relationship with him, she doesn't want him or Rachel to fail, although she still can't understand why Bomb chases Rachel, and she knew that the fishermen would get in the way sooner or later, so she crushed them, to restrict their movement for a while, as she didn't really know what else to do. Finally, she reminds everyone that while their goals are different, their objectives are the same, and that the only way they'll be able to ascend the tower is to beat Quant. Quant is perfectly happy to engage, having never fought one of Zahard's princesses before. He and An Rossi then fight. Meanwhile, Bomb observes the dying Ho, and realizes that when someone loses what is precious to them, they lose the will to live. He tells him to wait just a moment and begins to gather Shinsu.